Hello there YouTube, and welcome to the deck profile for Spellbooks. So, this is not a traditional build of Spellbooks, by the way. It does not play High Priestess of Prophecy. It plays another monster in this deck, which is kind of unique. When Cosmoblazer came out, this card was kind of something that people wanted to play, especially as a budget option, because High Priestess of Prophecy at the time was like 120 bucks, 130 I think, if I remember correctly. So it was a cheaper alternative to building something, and it was pretty fun when it came out. So we're going to start with the 3 copies of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. You need a normal summon. That's all there is to it. You cannot play 2 of this, you cannot play 1 of this, you have to play 3 of this because it's searchable. It is a monster that is a spellcaster that gets you into your engine. So, now for probably the namesake of the deck, in my opinion, is Reaper of Prophecy. So, when this card is normal or special summon, you have to activate, you can activate its effect and then apply as many of the effects as possible, depending on the number of Spellbook spell cards in your graveyard with different names. With 3, he gains 600 attack. At 4, he gets a Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. So he floats the moment he is summoned if you have 4 books in grave. At 5 or more, he also does the first 2, and then gets you a level 5 or higher Dark Spellcaster, which is in the form of Prophecy Destroyer. Prophecy Destroyer is a 2500 beater that's level 6, so you can play rank 6s in this deck. But when it's in the graveyard, you can banish 3 Spellbook spell cards in your graveyard to special summon it. Okay, this is basically what the deck is known for, and that is a rank 6 toolbox, while also throwing out 2 boss monsters that actually do quite a bit of damage. In fact, if you summon Destroyer off of Reaper, you have 5100 on the board. So, the only problem with the deck originally was that there was no good way of getting into this engine without problems. So, we're then playing 1 World of Prophecy because we're playing Temperance in this deck, and just having access to a board nuke on, on the fly is really good. Plus, you can use it for rank 9 plays with Spellbook Life. For the smaller monsters, we're playing 3 Temperance of Prophecy. You'll probably be wondering why I'm playing this just because of Reaper, and that's mainly because when you're going first, you're not going to really do a whole lot, because there's not a very easy way of putting 5 books in grave, unless you are playing the 1 copy of Fool we're playing. So you're going to use this to make World, or even Prophet Destroyer, or use Temperance to get to Reaper, but only use its grab a Spellbook spell card, because you can put 4 pretty easily in this deck. So, Fool is basically, kind of like how Temperance gets High Priestess in World, Fool gets Reaper or any Dark Spellcaster that's level 5 or higher. Once per turn, you can send a Spellbook spell card from your deck to the graveyard. So if you brick with Double Master, this can get you out of it, by the way. Not the best thing in the world, but it is better than nothing. And if you have 5 Spellbook spell cards with different names in your graveyard, you contribute it to special summon a level 5 or higher Dark Spellcaster during your end phase. So that's the only problem with the card, is it's during your end phase. I kind of wish it was during the main phase or something, but can't always have nice things. For Brilliant Fusion, or, the Clown Engine, Damage Juggler, Hat Tricker, and Garnet. Just, it's the standard engine. You can't play Trick Clown. It's up to you. For spells, we're playing 3 Brilliant Fusion, because your normal summon is very key, and this allows you to get Reapers out of your hand, because they're no good in your hand. And I'm not playing the discard outlets in this deck, because just the sheer fact that this can act as it, plus it thins out your deck, so why not? So, these should be Spellbook of Knowledge. Just to let you know, these should be Spellbook of Knowledge. I don't have them at the moment. I should be picking them up soon. I'm going to attempt it at least, to trade for them, and, the fun stuff. The fun things that people do when they have to finish decks, and, But I needed to get this out, because you know, 3 secrets, because it's a free search. You get a monster off of it if you need to. So you have to play 3 of it. It's at 3, you play 3. Double Master, because it can copy knowledge, secrets, power, eternity, whatever spell card that's a normal spell. It can copy it. It's pretty cool. Then Double Tower, because you're always loading up your graveyard, and it allows you to recycle your resources, so you should be playing at least 1. I play 2 because it's preference. Double Fate, because you can ban. It's non-targeting removal. You can flip your Book Magician face down, and it can bounce set spells and traps if you just have to banish a card. So, and sometimes you have to bounce a card in order to power up Starhall. So it's kind of nice to have Double Eternity, because getting your banished books is important, especially in a deck like this where you have a good amount of banishing besides Fate. And not to mention, playing 2 of it is fine because you open it relatively okay. Double Wisdom, because let's face it, the Dark Structure deck will make every trap very dangerous, and it's always nice to have access to them. Access to something that will prevent them. So, Double Starhall, this is kind of one win condition. Make Blue Boy 1500 by having like 10 spell counters, and then make it impossible for your opponent to get rid of unless they like Cosmic Cyclone it. 1 power, just, because Power Master makes Book Magician 2500, and you get to search twice. Spellbook of Life, it's a searchable monster reborn that can also go into Exceed plays, whether it's rank 6s or rank 9s, if you have access to them. For the techs are Monster Gate and Reasoning. So, in early versions of Reaper of Prophecy, when Cosmoblazer came out, these were really good because you could tribute your Book Magician and it would almost always get a Reaper or a Prophecy Destroyer, or Reasoning out, and because of the fact that you were sending a bunch of Spellbook spell cards to your graveyard, you would always have a bunch to activate effects and stuff like that, so it's always nice to have. For the extra deck, we're playing 1 Seraphonite, 1 Mrs. Radiant, because Hat Tricker is, you Brilliant Fusion, you get Hat Tricker, and then if you normal summon the Book Magician, okay, and then you special Hat Tricker, and now you have access to a Link monster that floats into something, which is usually going to get a Hat Tricker again, and then 1 Ib, just the random event that you open up Seraphonite, and whatever play that you need to get a spellcaster. It's 1800. You can always play like Proxy or something. So I'm actually kind of waiting for the Prophecy Link monster. 1 Gachi, 1 Herald of Pure Light for rank 2s. Zen Mains, Grand Pulse, Giga Brilliant, which you're playing a Digital Bug Corbage because it allows you to detach to select target 1 defense position monster your opponent controls and shuffle it in the deck, which is pretty cool. One number 21, 1 number 25, Photon Strike Bouncer, 2 Gauntlet Launcher, and the 1 Ether Blattner. Like this extra deck is kind of meh because it's just mostly what I could get a hold of. Like I said, this deck's going to be re-updated probably after Flames of Destruction releases, because I'm sure there's probably something in there that will completely change the meta, like one thing will be better. So that's the deck. Let me know what you think about it, and I would definitely appreciate some comments regarding this deck. Just ways to making it better. I will eventually be bringing High Priestess of Prophecy builds. There's a build that I would like to profile at some point, and just stuff that you can do that doesn't involve just playing 5 Spellbook spell cards, or 3 Book Magician, or just like the Spellbook engine. that people have been splashing. Something other than just those like 5-card engines. So I hope you all enjoy. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll bring more deck profiles as I start finishing them, and hopefully I will be bringing Element Sabers when the set releases.